Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today, another Flashback hardcore solo self-found update, and yeah, this is going to be the last one because I am done. In the past like 1.5 weeks, I ripped more than 10 characters, and this is way more than I expected that I will ever do. So I want to take this opportunity to show you the last 3 characters basically that I wanted to do or still tried to push the ladders with. So let's go to softcore solo self on standard. So here are a couple of those of my characters that I've been playing. It was actually 10 characters. I had to remove like 1 or 2 characters because I ran out of the character slots. So yeah, let's say wait a second, the mbX solo self-found number 7, which is actually number 9 because I mixed them up a little bit. That died on the way to becoming the low-life Righteous Fire Occultist. I think I talked about this character in the previous video, but I don't want to roll up the previous one, so I just want to quickly show that I was just like playing somewhere in the night. Let me switch this one. And trying to level up the Occultist just for preparation for the next day's stream, and this one died somewhere at level 28, I think somewhere in Act 3, I think in the Lunaris Temple. I just got like sandwiched from a couple of mobs and then I just died because I don't really have a lot of life. Anyway, so I think the last thing was then the number mbX Hardcore Solo Self-Found 10 and 8. These are the 2 characters that were still alive, if you remember. On the Juggernaut, I found a Rise of the Phoenix. A Rise of the Phoenix is probably one of the best Righteous Fire Shields for low life. So let's go over here and watch this beautiful character at the end gear that it had, okay? So this was my character. I was only having Kitava left here. I was level 72, so that's kind of amazing, I have to say. Getting to Kitava at 72, usually you're like 63 or something. So the build idea was actually pretty simple. I was just like playing as a Bane character, like Bane, just Bane and Soul Rend, I think. 2 Act 9 starting point, and this is where I started to revamp my gear using my shafts, my energy shield items, a shitload of regen items with the Rise of the Phoenix running. Wait a second, where is my Purity? This one, this one, this one. Oh yeah, wait a second. This. Okay, a little bit more explanation here. I used to play it as a Righteous Fire. The problem that I have, that I could not sustain Righteous Fire. Okay, so I had to kill mobs. So if I'm just gonna kill here the first couple mobs, you see that I get this Vile Bastion stacks here, right? Vile Bastion is the ascendancy from the, or at least some ascendancy points from the Occultist, which says that I get 1% energy shield regen per second for each enemy that I killed, basically. So what I was doing is just using Righteous Fire, although I degened, as soon as I hit a couple of mobs, I started to regen again, and this is the way I leveled up to like level 70. Then I was doing lap, the 3rd lap, because the main reason here is the first 2 laps are just Wicked Ward and Vile Bastion to be more tanky, a lot of energy shield, stun immunity, and so on. And then I wanted to have the Profane Bloom. Profane Bloom because if you curse enemies with Blasphemy, for example, like Flammability is what I was using here, they start to pop, you know, the Chaos Explosions. I just would actually like to show it to you here, how this would have actually looked like. Let's go over here. I need 1 rat. Let's see if we can do this. Basically 3 rat, 1. Ah, there we go. Perfect. Let's get my Righteous Fire in here. Here is the Blasphemy, the Flammability, what I was just talking about. Control Destruction. No. Wait a second. More spell damage? No. Where is my last gem that I was using here? I think it doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter in this point. I just want to show how it looks like. So now we have the remove Purity of Ice, get the Flammability in, and there is one more that I have to reserve on life, which is Vitality. There you go. Now we are low life, Righteous Fire. This is the way I wanted to play. As you see, I'm degenning a little bit here, but as soon as I kill the first mobs, I get some Vile Bastion stacks. And all of a sudden, I'm starting to regen. So this was quite fine to level here, and it was actually quite fast. As you can see, the Chaos Explosions coming from the Ascendancy, which is all fine. So this is the way I leveled up to like a level 70. Then I did the lab. In the lab itself, I wasn't really too sure how I should do it, because on Isauro itself, there is not a lot of mobs where you can actually stack your Vile Bastion stack so you start regenning, right? So then I had the idea, wait a second, if we just remove Righteous Fire, since our whole skill point, our tree, is bound about more chaos damage, or at least like damage over time for Righteous Fire. So I just used a Bane with Control Destruction and Despair. Obviously, I have to put down the flammability, and then I was just using like this, okay? So I was using all my regen gear and farmed it like that. So the lab itself, I did with Bane. Once I did this one, I was like, okay, let's quickly go lab, kill Kitava, and there you go, right? And this is the way I wanted to kill Kitava as well. Problem is, I don't have a lot of damage on this one, because usually with Chaos builds, you want to go for Atrophy, here Matter than Madness, then you have more damage over time, Multiplier over here. So I thought like, anyways, I'm not gonna have the best damage, but I still have like almost 6,000 energy shield with a lot of regen, since my Righteous Fire is not burning me, and I'm just gonna play it safe, right? Yeah, that was the idea. So let's look at this final attempt on Kitava. This is where I actually died. Let me pull this one up here. There you go. So, yeah, let's just watch it first. After all this time farming up in the aqueducts, getting the third lab done, you just like, let me just kill Kitava, and then we're gonna start mapping and push this character, right? Yeah, problem is, my Bane doesn't do a lot of damage. We are here in Kitava, it is the last hard phase, so as soon as this hard is done, it's over, you know? So I was just running around using Bane, and I was like, hey, wait a second, I have Vile Bastion stacks, I have a lot of regen, let's just get some debuff on Righteous Fire, at least on Scorching Ray on, and then, yeah. This is something I had to hardly learn in this game. Once you play hardcore, never stand still. Never stand still. Because every time I was moving, everything was good, but then there was one moment where I saw like, hey, now it's a good time to spam some Scorching Ray, right? So I was using my Bane, and I was like, yeah, let's just spam Scorching Ray. So I stand here for, yeah, probably 1 to 2 seconds, and I got 3 hits from these big dudes, and I just popped. I was so annoyed and so frustrated after this one, so I was streaming like 10 hours, as you see over here. And then I was like, holy cow, this is not possible that this just happened. I ripped not only my shafts, but also the Rise of the Phoenix. So let's do key facts here. I had actually super good gear. I found an intuitive leap, so I could go Melding, Dreamer, and Overcharged. So everything was looking good, actually, and then you die. So, which brings me to the last alive character, which was my Juggernaut. So remember, the Juggernaut was Righteous Fire, but it didn't... Which here? The Righteous Fire was... The Juggernaut was Righteous Fire, but it hardly could do like tier 2, tier 3 maps because of lack of damage. Then I found the Shafts, then I found the Rise of the Phoenix, and then I decided to run the Occultist. So the problem is, although this character was running Righteous Fire before, the Occultist had half of the gear of the RF character, from the Shaper Seed, from the Rise of the Phoenix, all that stuff that actually helped this character. So the problem was, I had a half Righteous Fire character, which was the only character alive. So what I was doing was just running tier 1 maps, sometimes white, sometimes just magic, to farm some regrets, to farm any kind that I could use, right? And yesterday, I actually got this from 84 to 88 nowadays, at least like almost 89. And there was one thing that I found yesterday, which was a Saphos frame. Saphos frame is hands down the best Righteous Fire Juggernaut shield. It gives you 4 to all max resistance. So if I run all of my abilities here, like basically only Purity of Fire and Vitality for now, Stone Golem, easy clap. Dude, I have 84% max fire resistance in Hardcore Solo Self-Found. This is insane. I was running Obliteration because I didn't really had a good Shape Receptor or something. So the end idea was basically the same as having the Righteous Fire Occultist, because I have now basically Profane Bloom. So if I'm just gonna run this one here, as soon as mobs are cursed, and they are shoot popping, yeah, there is a small little pop here. Wait a second, they don't have to be cursed. I'm actually stupid, because I was just running here and trying to get my Orb of Storms down. No, with the Obliteration, enemies kill have 20% chance to explode no matter what. So what you do is just running around and they will help clearing. You're gonna lose the ability to shield charge and fortify, because with the wand you cannot do that. But in the end it was actually pretty safe and fast. I have like 8,200 life. And yeah, yesterday in the evening I finally found the Saphos frame, which is so insanely huge on RF. Then I also made an unsaid ring with +3 level of socketed gems. So with a level 20 Purity of Fire, I would get the 5% max resistance. And after that point, and then I found a Witchfire Brew as well. So the build itself looks actually pretty decent. You don't think, if you look at this gear, that this is solo self-found hardcore, right? And yeah. What else? The plan was finish, like, I found, like, yesterday before I ended the stream, like 2 maps ago, I found Saphos frame. I was so super hyped that I finally could get this RF jug going, going for a shitload of life. Everything was, like, looking fine. I actually just wanted to bring this character to 89. So this one is 88 at the moment with, 80%. So after the die, I was like 90%. The food arrived that I ordered yesterday. And then I was like, okay, let me quickly run these 3-4 maps, get this to 89, stop streaming, continue tomorrowing, pushing hard for the demigods, right? Yeah, this was actually a quite funny clip, because the things that I say here, yeah, just enjoy it, just enjoy it. Now the race is on, actually. I could potentially, I mean, yes, I'm the player, but potentially, with this gear that I have right now, as soon as I get an Elder Helmet and the Shaped Scepter, I could actually try to push for rank 1 Juggernaut. That 4 extra fire resistance, that's huge. We are pushing for level 100! Wow, that timing though! That was so sad. That was so sad. I was feeling so confident, as you saw in the clip. I was so super hyped about finding Saphos frame. Everything looked good, and then I had some major mistakes made. First of all, you don't really want to, like, this is a monster level 77, I think it's like tier 8, tier 9 or something. You don't really want to fight syndicates, because syndicates suck. But I had a Juggernaut, a pretty beefy one, 8.2k life. Get off. So I was feeling pretty confident, but what happened here, we had Vegan and Aisling, or whatever she's called. So we have, I'm shocked here, I have some poison stacks or whatever this shit is. Then I get ignited by Vegan as well, or at least like chilled. So where the point where I died is, I had no flask charges up. I didn't even ran one shock immunity flask, right? So the Quicksilver was with speed. Then we had Witchfire Brew for damage, an instant life flask. Then we had a freeze immunity and a double bleed immunity, I think. No, wait, curse immunity and bleed immunity. So these were my flask choices. I was like, yeah, whatever, shock, you know, whatever ignite, whatever something. I'm Juggernaut, I cannot be frozen anyway, so the only thing I really need is bleed immunity. And since I almost died in lab because of the curses, I was like deciding that I run a curse immunity flask, so no shock flask. And this is exactly what killed me here. You see the fight encounters, everything looks good. I had my flask charges up. Now she sprays her poison thing. Here I get shocked. So I got the first big chunk of damage, right? And the problem is, what people explained to me later, what I actually didn't even know. When you're shocked, you're getting like 50% or something like more. You get just more damage from all sources. So also my Righteous Fire will do quite more damage. And then I was like, how you call it? I was just like, God damn it, scared, and I want to try to get out of the situation. And what I did is, as you see here, the circle here from Icelink's spray here, I was just basically instantly flame dashing into this circle, and then I was moving one step and the poison killed me off. So this is basically what happened here, and this was like, yeah, this is hardcore. You learn a lot of stuff. I'm pretty sure something like that, or any kind of that I had in the previous days, that I will probably never die again on these kind of situations, just because I learned it the hard way in here, right? So yeah, this was the highest that I got, 88, almost 89. The only thing that I really hate, if you take a look at your achievements, you know, I'm achievement hunter. I like having a lot of achievements, so if we're gonna pull this one up, achievements, I think there is not a lot missing, actually. Eternal, reach level 90 as a hardcore character. I did actually all the hardcore character achievements, right? From level 60, 70, 80. I did lab, the second lab, then Uber lab, and the Merciless lab. Like all 4 labs done. The only thing that I was missing is this 90 hardcore, and I died basically almost at 89. So I would have loved to get at least one character to level 90, which sadly didn't happen, which is actually sad. So now I have to do another hardcore character, but this is not going to be now, because now it's time to roll softcore again. Now it's time for some gambles. I prepared some gambles. I don't really want to spoiler something, but yeah, I still have prepared a couple of gambles that we are gonna do in the next couple of days. So we have a lot of fun at the last days of this league, and then we are all gonna be super hyped about the new league. So this is my Righteous Fire Juggernaut, my last project that I had on the softcore. It is basically, yeah, I could actually show it right now. Just tell me in the comments if you want to see a build guide about that, because otherwise I'm not even sure if I should do it or not. So let me get Herald of Ash. Here we go. So it looks better. So this character is basically a dual-wielding abyssal, like synthesized scepter exploding weapon, right? So we have double exploding weapons with Righteous Fire, with the Shackles of the Wretched. So what this is going to do, we're gonna run permanent Val Righteous Fire with like super speed. We're just gonna get our first stack. There we go. This is one of my fun characters that I was playing before the flashback. I was just like going like, hey, can we take Righteous Fire, like Val Righteous Fire, keep it permanently up, and make a fun headhunter build like I like to do. And it was the end result. It can actually easily run any kind of high tier map. I was running Elder Toxic Sewers with this one until like level 92. And yeah, this is actually a pretty fun character. It's hilariously expensive, but it's a lot of fun. A pretty brain AFK character. So if you want to see a build guide of that, let me know in the comments. And yeah, some gambles that I don't want to spoiler now. So yeah, this is it. Flashback. Thanks. Was a nice experience. I learned a lot about the game. But now we're gonna keep on doing some fun stuff in softcore. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And see ya on the next video.